So the no gases are, the last column halogens are. So the periodic table you can see is set up into rows and columns. So that's going to be important, okay? So it's not just a random table all flowing together. So, so representatives are going to be these first two, and we'll learn why that is in the last 6. Transition are the guys in the middle, the periodic table. Intertransition are the guys at the bottom. Now, if you notice, is that why are these guys down here? That's just for expense to make things be easier. They actually should go right here. So if you notice, it goes 56, 57, 72. Well, this column, this row right here actually fits in here. We put it down here so it doesn't go on there. Just curious thing about the periodic table. Let's take a look at it. Okay, if you notice it, it's broken into parts besides mental anomaly. You see this section here, you see a section here, you see a section here, and a section over there, right? Okay. Let's look at how many of these, how many columns in each one of these sections? 2? How many are in this section here?
57.
So over here to here, how many are?
About 30, about 20, 23.
So count from here to here. How many squares?
Oh,
How many squares?
9.
Count again.
8. I can't see it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh.
10. Say 2, 10. How many are down here? Don't count this guy because it's actually here.
50, 71.
So from here to 71.
14.
14. So you got 2, 10, 14. And how about the last group over there? 6. Okay. Two, 10, 6, 14. Now, they're all common, right? You all divided by 2. You can all notice that they're all odd numbers, and actually you can rearrange them. So the periodic table has some sort of, there's stuff in it. I mean, that's what we're going to get into. There's stuff in that table that's going to reveal itself to you. Oh, makes sense. Okay, chemical property, cation. Okay. Now, we'll get into this, but I want you to know it even though we don't, not covering it right now. It's a positively charged ion. And what an ion is, it's a atom or a molecule with a electrical charge. And there's 2 types of ions. There's cations, things that have positive charge, and we'll go into that, but just know that. And so there's things called ions. Ions are positively or negatively charged, electrically charged atoms or molecules. And then there's 2 types. Cations that have positive charge, anions that have negative. Now, one way that I sort of help me remember this, yeah, cation versus anion, and that's not anion or onion, okay, or cation, is that this guy kind of looks like a plus. So cation is plus, positive charge. The more you go with these flashcards, the more you will anion, negative. So here's an ion, okay. So that should really say an atom or molecule, but that definition is fine for now. an atom or atom is more or less electrical. So when it does have more or less electrons and protons, that gives it a charge. Okay. So atom that has more or less electrons compared to protons. For instance, sodium always has 11 protons, but sometimes, and usually it has 11 electrons. But sometimes it'll only have 10 electrons. Okay, so that would make it an ion. So if the number of electrons doesn't equal the number of protons, it's an ion. And therefore it's either positively charged or negatively charged, which we'll get into figuring that out. Atomic number, that's the number of protons. It's a unique identifier of a element. Chemical symbol is one or two letter symbol, like sodium is Na, oxygen is O. Atomic mass unit, that's just like we talk about pounds and grams, things like that. How we mass or weigh atoms and molecules, individual atoms, is with this unit called atomic mass unit. So the mass of all protons is 1 atomic mass unit. Okay. Anyway, we'll go more into that down the road. Average atomic mass is just on all atoms don't weigh the same. So if you had a handful of oxygen, most of them are going to weigh the same, but some of them don't. So what we do is that we can get an average. So the number under the atomic symbol, that's called the average atomic mass. So if you look at oxygen, I think it says 15.9994 or something like that. That means most of them weigh about 16, and some weigh less, but on average, sure. Group, okay, a group is a column. Period is row in the periodic table. A metal, I said, is in the left-hand side of the periodic table. Now metals are on the right. Metalloids are at the zigzag line. So these guys right here. Boron, aluminum, silicon, arsenic, germanium are known as metalloids. Allotropes, we know that. And so those would be on the, even though I didn't define, even though the first video didn't define all that stuff, okay, the quiz will have to do for you. All right, so next week we'll just do the same. I don't know, pay attention to blackboard announcements, and that's it. So I'll be here. I'm going to stay here for a little bit. If you guys need have any questions or so forth.
Appreciate it.
Did I get everybody signed in? No, it's like bank robbers.
For like a 10 purposes, you mean?
Yeah. I think there's somebody missing. Something weird is like when you wear a mask, you kind of have this vision of what they look like.
Yeah.
Then they take their mask off. Oh! Get in there like a
Don't look nothing like that. I think that a lot of hospital. So many people there.
Yeah.
So I have another class at 12 o'clock. I think I'm gonna have to leave. That's so stupid. I get it, but
I mean, I have, I don't know. You may probably have to check, but I know I'm allowed to stay around at least till noon. But I have the same class tonight over in our county. I live over in Urbana, so I asked them if I could.
yeah, just stay here.
That's why the guy came in and said I can do that. So.
Well, I'll definitely probably be emailing with some questions because I'm pretty new to all this
I've been out of school since '95.